here on the
Indeed.
left-hand side, we have Eaton and Geiger facing off against their opponents on the right-hand side. We have Felix and Lancenshield.
Yeah, four well-known names from the fourth community. Felix and Lanson having a bunch of trophies after their names, AI tournament victories, and map-making tournament victories. But the new upcoming guys in the achievement hunting, Ethan and Geiger. Ethan winning 2 seasons of ranked gameplay, one after another. And he's also a contender for the third one in a row, so we can never underestimate the guys. And Geiger already also a super high level top 3 player in ranked ladder, so their combo is just outstanding in terms of APM.
In terms of
But yeah,
sheer
I
skill
would,
capabilities.
yeah, I would give the brains to Team Red in this matchup, but certainly the micromanagement and the APM is on the blue side for sure.
All right, well, we see some interesting tactics out of these players so far. Looks like we have a Mortar and Swarm Rush out of blue team here on the left-hand side. This is a combo we don't often see, but can be devastating. Just because Mortars and Swarm Missiles, they require a slightly different response. So it can be difficult to defend against both, and yet both are fully capable of ending the game. But
interesting base setup by Ethan.
yeah,
Disconnecting your.
These are full rush. These are bases that are not meant to be hit at all. They are just full on aggression. But the right hand side is got a different strategy. It looks like they're playing support with Warhead behind, which we have seen before, but rather than go armory support, we have minigun support, which is far less common. I'm curious to see how it's going to work out. The miniguns may actually come in to be MVP here, as neither player from Team 1 is really capable of defending against them.
Yeah, he just have to survive the initial blows from those mortars and the silos, but he's already losing one of the minigunners because the base is quite tilted forward. He actually lost 2.
That's rough. That's very rough. Looks like we have some player comments about the terrain.
I think that may... shall I pause or not something significant?
They aren't typing again, so I think we're good to go.
Oh, yeah, I mean, probably it's because of Felix colliding with the terrain. Yeah, everyone should know that Vanilla Large got updated since we last played on it, but giving the history of playing on this version of the map in the tournament, we kept this version and didn't update for the new one.
Ah, that makes sense.
The new one is balanced in a way that the terrain may not collide, where Felix just lost his minigunner. But the first missile shielded nuke going through for Lanson, doing actual core damage on Ethan's side.
Indeed. Not only did it do core damage, but Eaton doesn't have the income to fully repair that. It's a little bit rough for him.
We have Firebirds coming out from Team Blue, so that's a lot of stuff that can cause fire. It's all about those hits from Lance and Shield. If he can eliminate Ethan, basically they won the game. But it's also true in reverse. If they can eliminate Felix, the game is over. These are 4 paper forts with big guns on them, and whoever dies first loses.
That I can't think of any better way to say that. That is exactly what's happening here. All these players are going all aggression and just trying to spend their APM and convert it into longevity for their forts.
Yes, they all believe in their APM and their capability to defend with less resources than optimal. Some machine gunners nicely taken out by Felix's minigunners. So now Lanson has the possibility to shoot. I don't think he has the energy supply to do it.
Oh. Speaking of energy supply, those turbines are going away. Uh-oh, here comes the fire. And a warhead.
Yeah. Oh, and he doesn't have the angle with the minigunner.
That, honestly, that could have been a lot worse for Felix.
Indeed, he was quite lucky to survive that, for sure.
Yeah.
Now Lanson has the possibility to shoot, but now Geiger's anti-air is back up, so I don't think that could reach. Oh, just about.
A little bit more AP sniping might see that anti-air go away. And then the nuke land out of Lanson's shield. But blue team trying to land those same shots. This is just a slogfest. Down and dirty. More
Indeed.
missiles launching.
This is
Oh!
huge timing by Felix and Lanson.
The beautiful manual anti-air tapping that warhead, sending it right back down into the core. That's game winning right there.
Play. Yeah, that's game winning and possibly turning the tides in a close series. Those are the plays that are changing these high level games, not exactly the casual type of stuff, just these small details, small timings.
Even using the buzzsaw to defend against the warhead.
Yeah. In earlier stages we saw some cannon anti-air too. It was awesome, honestly. I think it was Geiger who, on a Caverns map, he was left alone and defended against 4 nukes with 2 cannons. He was just precise with those shots. Okay, the Firebird nuke coming out, and I don't think that Felix has that angle, but everything spammed in the front of his fort manages to keep him alive. A little bit of fire damage.
Jeez, the miniguns. Miniguns are extremely good anti-air. If they have the angle, which is a big if.
Yeah, with small doors it's even harder.
But we'll see. Eden, he's trying. I think Felix and Lance, they've just sustained so much damage that they're not trying to burn down their opponent too quickly now. They're just expanding. They're just stabilizing themselves before pushing. They get a nuke to land, and it helps, but it's not a lethal hit. And they're not trying to push for lethal afterward.
Geiger was the one who had all the anti-air, so that's basically a double elimination for Felix and Lanson, because no anti-air makes Ethan so vulnerable for those nukes.
Indeed. They're picking away with minigunners. Yeah, Lance and Felix, they're not going for the kill just yet.
The super funny thing is, I see now in chat that Kronk is saying, Lanson, I am blessing your nuke, go get it through. And that's gonna be it. Lovely. Yes, AB sniper straight into the core, and Felix and Lanson take game 1 in a convincing manner in 10 minutes.
And we're off. Go ahead and take away our introductions.
Thank you, Incursus. And we have the upsetting victory from Felix and Lanson against the APM Kings in the first game. Now we have changed sides, Felix and Lanson on the blue side in up and down, and Geiger and Ethan trying to crawl back into the series by taking on the enemy on the red side. It's gonna be an interesting map. This was probably the most played in the regular season. This is a kind of player favorite map. Everyone has their own strategy. We could see that in the other semifinal, Matto and Babretto had their own strategy, really worked to the precision on this map. So I would expect nothing less from Geiger and Ethan to show us some close to perfect gameplay.
Yeah, I want to point out this is I think this is probably my favorite 2v2 map. It's just got so many things you can do without opening up the rabbit hole of adding an extremely high amount of economy. You have vanilla-like economy levels, you have hanging bases, you have standing bases, and your bases aren't so close that it dictates that you have to go rockets. They aren't so far away that you have to go heavy weapons. It enables everything without not having too much of any one particular thing. That's, I think, makes for a very good map here.
Ethan is playing with super high efficiency, selling his starting connections to the ground to be able to put down his mines earlier than the curve.
Indeed, that's something you don't usually see. I see that Eden has gone for a very redesigned base, including selling off a lot of his metal and internal structures so that he can get the behind the base, the rear fans, as he could, the back fans. He has sold off a lot of his foundations. The hanging bases are super stable so that you can get away with that, and it does enable you to get a little extra eco. But here's
Geiger
the thing.
is using the early pressure of the Bassa sniper combo, exposing one of the EMPs and delaying the rush and basically halving its strength on the Felix side.
Very good play. Looks like those rockets are going to be completely shut down. I think Team 2 was very well aware. They may even be spook here, which may be how they've known to go for what they are going for.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to talk about the strategies. Looks like Team 1 is going for the same kind of support and nuke style that we've seen oh so commonly. But this time they did open rockets and did nothing with them. They got almost completely shut down immediately. One rocket hit there is not going to be the difference. We'll see if that warhead lands. Nope. Warhead completely shut down.
Yeah, manually fired flak is just too strong against the warhead.
Yeah, a lot of people will say things. I've seen a lot of players comment about, oh, warheads and missiles and such, too hard to deal with because the automated anti-air is just not good enough. But then you see players here at the higher end of the bracket manually controlling their anti-air and completely shutting down things like rockets and nukes.
Mm-hmm.
Eaton really going down low to bring out that machine gun nest.
Yeah, they have to rely heavily on that. nuke hits the wood build up by Geiger. Very nicely done. Defended.
I'm always curious. Like, Lance and Shield is not targeting Eaton with his nuke here. I'm curious as to why not. As you see a base like Eaton's here, he's got missing foundations, he's got missing internal bracing. These are things that blue team knows. They can see that the foundations are not connected. They can see that he has rear turbines, which indicates that he doesn't have defenses around his core. His base is not as structurally stable as it would normally be. So that generally indicates, that's generally a cue to go immediately hit it with a nuke, because it's not going to be as defensible, it's not going to survive. And yet they're firing at Geiger rather than Eaton. Oh, that's a heavy hit.
Oh, hit! Oh. And the core slides down.
And it's gone.
Yeah, huge hits from Team 1's side. They just couldn't finish Geiger on top. As you mentioned, they chose probably the wrong target.
The piecemeal disassembly. All those turbines going away. Cannons, they just work.
Yeah. They are probably the most reliable damage source in the game. Probably besides, I mean, lasers, they are also quite reliable.
Yes, lasers are reliable, although they do suffer from the They're
No
not
mines.
even. Team 2 is not even trying to go for the core. They're going for eco. They're taking out all the extremities and expansions, and they're just gonna starve them out. Which, that's the way to do it if you want to guarantee victory. A careful, slow approach. Look at that. They already took out the mines once, and they're going for the mines again. Oh, that's aimed at the core.
Yeah, I would think that Ethan and Geiger are already talking about what they're gonna do the next map, so this is just making a decisive victory in this game, maybe dragging out a bit to make it sure that Lanson has no way of coming back. Because until those nukes are present, there is a chance always, but if he has no resources to shoot them, then it's a clean game.
Indeed. Looks like he does have the income to repair for the moment. That's going to change very quickly as those mines are getting attacked.
Yeah, he has to rebuild those connections to the ground. Sorry.
Oh, he's running out of money. There it is. Lance and Shield does not have the income to repair. He's selling off a mine right now. I think he's selling that one off
To be able to connect to the
to the ones up top. Yep, there it is. And the ones up top are about to get slammed. No, just going straight for the base. And that's it.
Yeah, 2 cannons are enough to disconnect him from the terrain, and that's it. Geiger and Ethan coming back into the game too with a convincing victory.
And we're off. Ladies and gentlemen, this series is tied 1-1. Here on the left-hand side, we have Eaton in the top base and Geiger in the lower base. Already doing a whole lot of base rearranging as we expect. And they are facing off against the red team on the right-hand side. It is Felix and Lance and Shield. Felix taking the top base and Lance and Shield in the lower base for their team.
Yeah, nobody sold their initial minigunner, and also nobody is really building the bottom side exposed turbines. That's why probably you didn't see the shots earlier, but Geiger has some exposed ones, so...
Oh my. Yeah, a lot of times... I'm sorry, I always enjoy the little minigun shenaniganery that happens. For those who are unfamiliar, the miniguns in this match are really not capable of dealing damage to opponents, but if the opponents decide to do something like build an exposed and undefended turbine, then the miniguns can do something. So very often it creates a scenario where the miniguns just get sold off because there's nothing for the opponents, just they don't build things exposed. So there's no reason to keep the minigun around. You just sell it off to get yourself a quick little eco boost at the beginning of the game and move quickly toward whatever strategy you intended to go for. That is basically what we've seen here. However, in this case, no one decided to sell their miniguns, but they also didn't have anything to shoot at. So they're just sitting there plinking away at each other just because they wanted to. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just wanted to wait for you to finish your sentence. I was about to say, we've seen this before on Selected. If you clean your house like Ethan did with background bracing, if you open your door in the wrong time, you can pretty much receive a huge chunk of core damage just because of the early minigunners. That's the disadvantage of putting the turbines at the back and having to background brace everything.
Yeah, I did not expect Eaton to get hit there, but alas, without the core defense, without the default defenses, his core was exposed. He opened the door and he got shot. He lost 17% off of his core, which isn't all that much, but it's something to keep in mind. Looks like these strategies are revealed as they are being completed. Right-hand side is going for the laser and swarm missile combo.
And on the other side, we probably have scattershot 20s, if I'm not mistaken. They have the commander vetoed for their side. And they are already placing 20s.
That could be some serious damage. Of course, this is a strategy that requires a bit of coordination for their team. They have to sync up their shots and their weapon cooldown times with their commander ability. Not too hard in the collaboration scale, but it is going to be a bit more collaboration than is necessarily required by the other team.
Mm-hmm. I just got a flashback, a deja vu from the second qualifier. This was the final matchup for the second qualifier, but Felix and Lanson won. I'm gonna continue after the salvos. Exposed fire beam, and actually he loses the second one, but the nuke hits on the other side. Huge damage on Felix.
I don't think... Yeah, I was going to say, Felix, he got his weapon sniped. That was not a good trade for Red Team. Red Team taking the loss in that exchange.
Indeed. This was the one of the final games, and it was also scattershot on Ethan and Geiger's side. And they lost that game because of core damage.
Oh, ouch.
So, yeah. At the second half of that game, Felix and Lanson had... they knew that they have the core damage advantage, and they just sat back, and the 20s just weren't enough. they used some energy shields and managed to mitigate the pressure that came from Geiger. Oh, the huge snipe! Actually,
Ooh.
dealing core damage on Geiger's side, but Felix loses his mind.
Felix is getting bodied every time. It's red team does damage, blue team responds by dealing more damage.
This is what I mentioned, that they are not afraid to shoot where it hurts. And the Basta anti-air, just supreme.
It's been surprisingly effective throughout this entire league so far, at least all these matches here in the final day. I wonder... I just want to point out here, Eaton's base, big wood. Such large amounts of wood just blocked out there. It's no wonder he's not getting targeted by these missiles. Machine gunners managed to defend the anti-air, taking out those nukes before they're able to land.
If I were Lanson, I would shoot, maybe with less delay, my warhead compared to the missiles, because it seems that like the firebeam doesn't have the time, the length to defend against the anti-air if the nuke comes so late. Yeah, I feel like it's just too much delay. Oh, and the snipe again on Felix's weapon.
That's brutal. The missiles getting completely cleared out of the air and the cannons coming in with the retort. Not significant damage dealt, but Felix did lose his fire beam once more, making him toothless for the time being.
Yeah, Ethan set up his manually fired flag. And yeah, even though Geiger and Ethan have the map control, they still are behind in core damage.
That is true. They have 7 minutes before that becomes relevant.
Oh, this is what I would have loved to see earlier from Lance, and the simultaneous shots from the weapons. No. The poor flag on the top of Eden's base is getting focused.
No significant damage dealt, just a little bit of deformation into the large wood boxes. Uh-oh, here comes the scatter shot active. That could be it.
And so it is. Three scatter shot active, improved 20s. They are just too much damage. Just way too concentrated, way too high amount of damage. I'm not sure what's the damage number actually if you combine all the shots from a 20 compared to a cannon.
It's more. A lot more. That's all I could say about it. That's all I remember.
Where is 42's Excel table with the values?
I just got it pinned. I could probably look it up.
Yeah, that's already like a meme. Between like 42, like any question we have, basically the answer related to any force related question is where is 42's table? We can just look at it. How much shots does it take to kill a Basta with a sniper or something like this? Yeah, we just look it up. It's such a useful tool, honestly.
Oh, it really is. Wait, do I not have this pinned? What happened?
Oh, poor Lanson. Yep. That's gonna be it. Bye bye.